Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader, and today is August 1st, so we are going to be talking about my July wrap-up. I read a lot of manga. I don't even know how big this stack is beside me, but it's a lot. I read 2 other books, which I genuinely enjoyed, but August was clearly a manga month for me. It kind of seems like that's how it's been going lately, but it's okay. I'm happy with pretty much everything I read. So without further ado, let's get into what I read. I'm going to start off with the regular books because it was so few. And then I'm going to get into the manga that I read. So if you don't care about manga, you can just watch the first part. If you don't care about the first part, skip to the manga. This is pick your own adventure, I suppose. But let's get into it. So one of the first things I read and I vlogged myself reading was First Comes Like by Alicia Rai. This was so good. I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 stars, if not 5. 4, it kind of, if anything, it could have sat in between 4 and 5, like 4.5 stars. But honestly, this was so good. I genuinely loved this book. It's a longer romance, but I thought it was done really well, personally. I genuinely enjoyed myself while reading it. I laughed. I think I teared up at one point too. But again, I cry very easily, so that's not really a surprise. But overall, I just thought it was really, really amazing. We're following our main characters, Gia and Dev. Gia is an influencer. She has been a YouTube makeup artist for many, many years. She's like in her late 20s, early 30s. And she has been chatting with someone that she thought was this very famous actor in India named Dev. She makes a plan to meet him in person because every single time she tries to meet him while they're talking, via text or on Instagram, something always comes up and it can't happen. Well, she decides to meet him in person. She goes to like an industry party because he is doing a show in America now. And she's been skeptical this whole time that maybe she's not really talking to him because what are the odds I'm talking to this famous actor? And when she finally meets him, he clearly doesn't know who she is. So what we end up experiencing is Dev being very like, oh my God, this woman is beautiful, and making an effort to actually figure out who she is. And then they find out it was a catfish type situation, but it wasn't all that bad. You have several tropes going on, which I actually thought were really fun. Obviously, you've got the one where it's like a catfish, but it ends up working out okay. Fake dating. I like a fake dating trope. I'm sorry. I enjoy it. That's just me. And I just found all these characters so funny, so lovable. And the thing that I really don't enjoy in romance books is that like third act like meltdown where something that you know from the beginning is probably going to be an issue doesn't come up till the end, and oftentimes it results in this huge like breakdown of communication, and everything they've worked for just kind of goes out the window, and you're left like, well, what the fuck? Like, I thought I didn't think that was going to happen. This did not have that, so I was very, very pleasantly surprised and very pleased with that. All in all, I think that this is a really, really good book. I would recommend it. And it's part of a series. I don't know if it's just a trilogy, but the other books are The Right Swipe and Girl Gone Viral. I've seen The Right Swipe. I'm pretty sure that's on Hoopla. So I really want to read the next books in the series. I think it would be really fun because I don't know if it's like her sisters that are getting into something, like a mutual friend. Either way, I want to follow the story. I want to see the characters again as well. And I think it's worth it, but just know that this is a romance that's about 400 pages. I can understand why most of the romance readers that I have watched see their commentary that they don't really think that romance should be that long. I do get that. And there's some that I've read that I thought, ooh, this could even be shorter. That's how like, but I enjoyed the length of this. It did not feel like 400 pages to me. So I feel like if you want to give it a chance, I would suggest you do it because I think it was a really fun thing to read. I like the characters and I think it's worth it. give it a try. Next, I listened to Fourth Wing. I can't remember that woman's name. I'm gonna put the icon. And honestly, it was pretty good. I would say for me, my rating sits somewhere between 3 and 4 stars. So I'd probably give like 3.75 or 4 stars if I round it up. It wasn't bad. I liked the narrator. I understand why people really, really like this book. I really do. It was like medium paced, and I did kind of like our main character. Sometimes Violet would annoy me, but I still think that it was a fun ride. I think it was good. And you're basically following your main character, Violet. She is Violet Sorrentgale. The way that some people said her last name was so irritating. It got to me. Those are like the little things that were like, okay, this is kind of annoying. But you're following the main character, Violet. She has always wanted to be a scribe. She had no interest in being in the military and being a dragon rider, but her mother, who's like the general, is determined to make her a dragon rider. Why? I don't really know. It's like she wants her youngest daughter to die. That's what it's giving. You know, like, I kind of want you to die in battle. She has always been like very weak, sickly, and she knows that there's a good chance that she could die early on, but she is determined to keep going. And I really did like that about Violet, even though she knew what to do to get where she needed to be, right? So she knew that she wasn't strong. So when she had to have hand-to-hand combat with people, she found a way to make sure those strong people weren't always so strong when it was her time to fight them. I can appreciate that. The love triangle wasn't terrible. I also get why people liked it, considering the sex scenes towards the end. Wow, did not realize it was going to be that graphic. Don't hate it though, definitely not mad at it. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good book. Liked the ending, did not see that twist coming, which makes me want to read the second book. So that's why it's like 3.75, 4 stars for me. I enjoyed myself. I had some things that were like kind of annoying about it, but I am going to read the second book. So I think that makes it was pretty good, huh? For the Naruto TBR challenge, I read Moonstruck, which was a graphic novel. I needed to read a banned book from 2022. It was pretty good. It's the first volume, so it's issues 1 through 5. So it's pretty short and quick. I loved the art. The illustrations were beautiful. I definitely love that art style. Everybody is so cute and adorable. You're kind of dropped right into this like friend group, and our main character, I believe her name is Julie. She's a werewolf. And everybody is like, some people are just humans, and then some people are, you know, like a centaur or a werewolf, or there's a woman who has like snakes in her hair, so she's like a Medusa. So there's mythical creatures. I liked that. Our main character, Julie, doesn't like being a werewolf for some reason. I may have missed why she is so weird about it, but she really doesn't like it. The girl that she's really interested in is also a werewolf, or a wolf. I don't know if you would say werewolf or wolf. Either way, she's adorable. And yeah, they go to a magic show for one of their dates, and the magician ends up doing something that turns her best friend, who is a centaur, just into a regular human. And that is just awful. And they start to discover that this is something that this magician has been doing, taking away people's magic and just basically keeping them human. The twist at the end was like, okay, I don't really get the motivation for that. I don't really understand why this person did this. But I honestly think I would read the second volume. I mean, I already requested it from Hoopla, so I'm gonna read it. I don't want it to go to waste. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's sad that it's something that's banned, because like it's just a really nice story. Obviously, we have queer couples, it's LGBTQA plus representation. So we know why it was banned, but it's just like, this is like, I hate people who ban books personally. So either way, I thought it was really cute. I did like it for the most part. Julie, not my favorite character, just because of like how grossed out she was by being a werewolf. I just don't get that personally, but who am I? And I would probably rate that 3 stars. Again, I'm gonna read the second volume, and I believe there's a third one. I might just read what is available to me, because I think it's worth reading some more, because I think the next few volumes deal with other people like in this friend group that we might have seen. I want to see what happens with their best friend, but overall it was a nice little read. All right, so for all the manga I read, let me count how much I read for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I read 30 volumes. Wow. I'm going to try to go through it quickly. Because some of them I was just continuing on with the series, so there's no point in me spending too much time talking about it. But there are a few series that I started the first volume that I do want to get a little bit more detail of. So let's start with what I read that was like ongoing. I read Sakamoto Days Volume 8. The 9th volume comes out today, actually, but I'm going to hopefully hold off on buying that. Still really enjoying the series. Sakamoto and Shin are still taking the test to infiltrate like the new recruits for like the Assassin Academy. And this was just like a battle royale type thing. Like the story is kind of furthering along, but you know, this is like volume 8. So not a lot is happening, but like a lot is happening. Enjoyed it. Kaiju number 8, volume 7. Really sad about the outcome. I know the last time I talked about volume 6, I mentioned how it ended. I hoped that it would not be that outcome. And unfortunately, it was that outcome. And I'm very sad about that because I cried in the last volume at the thought of it being that way. Same thing here. You know, we're continuing on with the story, so there's not much to get into in general. Still really liking Kaiju number 8. I would recommend it if you want to read something that is like monsters, battles, a little bit of friendship in there. It was very fun. Skip and Loafer volume 7. I teared up. I can't help it. I love Skip and Loafer. I think Skip and Loafer is so good. I enjoy this so much. I hate the fact that I have to wait till like I think almost the end of the year for volume 8. I mean, I have longer than a month to wait for volume 8, I believe, and that makes me sad. I don't appreciate that. Not fair. The way this ended, F you. F you, because why do I have to wait? That's not okay. I need to know what happens immediately. Ghost Reaper Girl volume 3. I'm sad that I only have one more volume until, you know, it's the end. There's been a hiatus from the mangaka, so I don't know when a volume 5 will come out. I have no idea, but I'm sad. This was really cool because we meet Cthulhu, and I just feel like the series is just so fun. I enjoy this. I think that almost everybody would like this, personally. I didn't know, though, that this was by the same mangaka of Rosario plus Vampire, so now a lot of stuff makes sense. But overall, it's good. I recommend, I'd absolutely recommend Ghost Reaper Girl. Record of Ragnarok volume 3. Another situation where I was so sure that they were not going to end it the way that they were in volume 2. And then they did. And that makes me very sad because I really liked the particular character who was battling. I'm still really enjoying this series. I mentioned that I'm not really into the anime, so I won't be watching it, but I like it so far. I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see who continues to be battling each other. A lot of these people, I do not know who the hell they are. Some of them I do. I don't know who this dude is, like, in reality. And I don't remember who that is. Who the hell is that? Oh, it's Poseidon. That's right. That's going to be cool. You don't see exactly, like, everything that happens in this volume. You just kind of get introduced. But I can't wait to read volume 4. Pluto volume 2. Another one that's really good, and it gave me nightmares. So the first volume gave me nightmares. I don't know why. Robots killing people scares me. Hello. Same thing here. Like a fucking rogue robot scares the shit out of me. This is really good. I cried. Another one I cried too. I cannot wait to continue on with the series. And apparently an anime is coming out either at the end of this year or sometime in the spring next year on Netflix. And I will absolutely be watching that because I saw a trailer and the animation looks really freaking cool. Volume 3 of In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. Enjoyed myself. We've got a love triangle coming on, all right? A new contender has walked into the restaurant. I don't know if they're going to be in the school with them, but either way, we've got another good-looking person who is interested in Yoi. So yeah, the pressure's on. it's about to go down. My bad. I did not stack these up in order. So I also read volume 2 of Ghost Reaper Girl. Really good. I enjoy it. There's not much else to say that I didn't say in the third volume, but I like it. Read it. I read so much, I almost did that again, where I talked about the second volume first. I read volumes 1 and 2 of the Geek X Hitman this month, and it is so funny. I'm sad that I have to wait for volume 3. I wish I just had it now so I can continue on with the story. We're following our main character, Marco. He is an ex-hitman. He was going on a job one day where he was supposed to kill someone, and he sees this like little anime character in that, like a figure in this person's house, and he becomes obsessed with her and he becomes an otaku. So he leaves Italy and moves to Japan, engrossed in this anime and manga otaku world. And the people from like Italy, he was working for, like, not the mob, but you know, mobbish stuff, are like, what the fuck, man, we got to get Marco back. So they send someone to go get him, except she's also an otaku. Her name is Viviana. Viviana is hilarious. She's into BL. She is so funny. This particular one is so freaking hilarious to me. She's like determined to put Marco in situations where it's like her BL fantasy. It's so funny. Read this if you want something that's just like funny, kind of lighthearted. Yeah, there's a little bit of action. They kick ass, but God, is it funny. It's definitely like, it's definitely worth a read. I don't know how long this series is going to be. I hope it doesn't just end after like 3 volumes. Like, I need more. It's too good. Slowly but surely making my way through Hell's Paradise. I read volume 4. Still very good. From what I understand, my husband has watched almost all of the anime, and I can't remember what episode he was on. I thought I was so behind. I was not. I wanted to keep reading so I could catch up to the anime because I was going to watch it, and I did watch the first 2 or 3 episodes. But then you know, when he's filling me in, I said, hey, just go ahead, watch it without me. I'll watch it eventually. I actually was kind of farther along, but that's how it works, right? You know, they have to make the anime extend a little longer. Maybe fight scenes last 2, possibly 3 episodes. I was further along than I thought. Still very good, still very bloody. If you want something like that, definitely read or watch Hell's Paradise. It's so good. And the intro song, delicious. One of my favorites. Call of the Night Volume 12. Still really enjoying this series. I know I talked about it when I did my reading vlog, how like in the back, the mangaka talks about how like they did not expect for the story to be this long. They were thinking of ending it a lot earlier, but as they've continued to write more, they're like, oh, well, it's evolved. I'm keeping the story going. I'm enjoying that. I want to know where this goes. Not sure what the ending could be. We've got 2 new characters involved, and I'm here for it. Platinum End Volume 2, still very good. Making my very slow way through this series. This one was cool because basically we get more of the story about the other contestant who's determined to just kill everybody. And they set up a trap that almost gets our 2 main characters caught just so he can kill everybody. Very, very smart. A lot of calculated stuff going on. This is by the same creator as Death Note, so you know, it's giving, you know, my young me up in here. So if you want something that's a little bit mysterious, supernatural, okay, it has to do with angels and shit, you'll like Platinum End. I think it's worth it. This might be an anime. I'm not sure. This might be. Either way, the covers are gorgeous. If this is an anime, I will probably watch it. I really want to see what this looks like because it would be just so pretty. Nashville Volume 2 and 3. This is still so fun. So freaking fun. One Punch Man meets Harry Potter. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's worth a read. I know I've only read 3 volumes, but honestly, it's so good. MASH is just so funny. MASH really, obviously, as the main character, makes the series, but all of the friends that he's collecting along the way, all these people who try to come for him, he surprises them in some way, and then like they end up being friends. It's just so perfect. I do want to watch the anime. My husband's watching it, I'm reading it. I know that I'm going to laugh just as much as I do reading and watching, and I can't wait to continue on with the series. Alrighty, so the one that made me cry, Thriller Bark arc, One Piece. Jesus, man. I cried so freaking hard when I read this. I caught it on camera because I didn't expect to find out what happened with Brooke, that was going to like ruin me, and it was. Honestly, One Piece is just so good. I understand, you know, and I was like I wasn't a believer of how great One Piece was. I get it. I've slowly started to watch the anime too, and one of the reasons why I stopped watching it the first time was the animation just seemed like, oh, I don't know if I'll like this. But it is so worth it. Okay, push through it. If you don't like the animation, trust me, it gets better. Look at what it looks like today. It's freaking amazing. The story, yeah, there's a little bit of goofiness going on, but when I tell you the relationships and the backstories of some of these characters are just so intense, it is so much more than just, hey, we're pirates looking for treasure. Like, yeah, they are. And that's pretty important. They've got to find the One Piece. Got to be the greatest pirate king of all. But the friendships, the relationships, everything that's going on in this series is just so amazing. It's great storytelling, I promise you. Give it a try whether you read it or you watch it. It's worth it. But Brooke's backstory, don't you even freaking get me started. I called my husband crying. I sent him Snapchats crying. I recorded myself crying. I didn't know that was going to happen. It's worth it. I promise you. And Thriller Bark ruined me for the rest of the night after I read this. It was awful. For my Naruto TBR challenge, I had to read the first 5 volumes in a series I hadn't started, and I started reading Orient. I also got the next 5 volumes in a Right Stuff order, so I have the next 5. I'll be reading till volume 10, hopefully soon. This is really good. Honestly, this is so much fun. I said that I really wanted to collect magi, and I still want to, but honestly, if I never end up collecting magi, I'll be fine because Orient's really good. Like, I definitely want to continue reading this series and kind of focus a lot of my energy on this because it's amazing. I cried at the last volume. I think it was volume 5 that made me cry. I'm pretty sure it was 5. If not 5, it was definitely 4. It's just so good. You follow our 2 main characters, Musashi and Kojiro. They are 2 best friends from a really small village. Kojiro has a father who's a samurai, and in this town, it's like frowned upon to be a samurai because people believe that samurai are like sacrilegious to the gods, but in reality, they actually protect people, and these gods that people are worshiping are demon gods, so they're not actually good. And through a series of events, they end up having to take one down, and then they discover even more the outside world of their town and other bands of samurai, and how like the world outside of this small village that they've lived in all of their life actually works. The thing that made me cry is because you see this backstory for Musashi, and it's just so sad. It's just so much. It was too much. I wasn't expecting it, so I definitely just let the tears fall. But so far, I would definitely say that this is probably gonna be, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna predict that this is gonna be a 5-star series for me. I'm enjoying myself. I haven't felt like, I'm so tired of it already. I haven't felt that at all. I feel like the pacing is really good, and I'm enjoying myself. So if you want something that's like fighting, but also has friendship in it, you know, it doesn't have political intrigue yet, but I have a feeling we're gonna see that soon. Read this, read Orient. So I started Requiem of the Rose King, Volume 1. Not bad, really interesting. I already know like the basics of the War of the Roses, but it's interesting take on it, very different. I think that it was a little interesting because it started off, it felt like it just dropped us right in there. And for someone like me who already knows a little bit, it was like, I didn't feel completely lost, but in a way I did. Because I was like, oh, I kind of felt like there would be more of a build up to this. But I still enjoyed myself. I like Requiem of the Rose King. I'm definitely going to continue reading the series. Oh, man. The Apothecary Diaries. I read the first 2 volumes. This is so good. Now, this one I can predict strongly, 100%, is going to be like 5-star for me. period. Like, it's so good. I love Mao Mao. She's a funny character. I love all the characters I've met so far. I think it's interesting. I like the role she plays amongst these people in the palace. You know, she is a young girl who was studying to become an apothecary. She was kidnapped and sold to the palace as a maidservant. She is like low on the totem pole, but she ends up helping solve this mystery, and she ends up becoming a lady in waiting. The good thing is that she eventually gets to do apothecary stuff again, which is what she truly wants. And she is hilarious. She has to navigate the pettiness of people at court. There's several wives that the emperor has. She's with one whom she likes, and she likes all the other women, but she kind of gets loaned out to a few others. One in particular was like the rival of the one she's with. She is very wise for someone being so young. And I just like her as a character in general. It's perfect. I love it. That is it. She is my number one. I adore her. She's everything to me. I want nothing but the best for Mao Mao. Last night, I read The Love of Kill. I wanted to just sneak one more volume in. And honestly, it was pretty good. I have the first 5 volumes of the series. I am interested in where it's going. It's a little bit weird. We've got 2 main characters, Chateau and Riang. Both of them are like assassins. Chateau works as a bounty hunter. I think that she was basically given a contract to kill Riang, but he stopped her. He becomes infatuated with her, and now he basically does her job for her. But he really wants to take her on dates. He really wants to have a relationship with her. We'll see where it goes. I don't know if she, you know, will give into his clear desire for her. She seems very put off by him, but she has to be careful because she's being watched. He's still a wanted man. So I'm excited to read the next volume in that. Tokyo Aliens Volume 1 was so good. I got this as a cover buy. Someone talked about it. I saw the covers. I was like, I definitely want to read that, and I'm glad that I got it. I have the first 3 volumes, and the 4th volume comes out this month, so I will be going out of my way to read the next 2 volumes for sure. This was good. I enjoyed myself. I don't really have much to say about it. It was just a very fun experience to read. I like our main character so far, so I can't wait to continue on with the series. And Witch Hat Atelier. This was beautiful. The illustrations in here are so gorgeous. I don't know if this, I mean, this would be, this reminds me of like the whimsical beauty of Studio Ghibli films. I don't know if this is ever going to be animated. I don't know if it's already animated. Either way, if this is, I will watch it. It is so beautiful. It's beautiful. Our main character, Coco, is a human. She's living in a world where people have magic, but she's always been told that if you're not born with it, you're never going to get it. You have to be born a witch or a wizard. Well, that isn't quite true, and she ends up becoming a witch. But she doesn't have the same experience as everyone else who grows up in that situation. She ends up thrust into it by accident. Even though she's always been obsessed with it, she's always had a love for it, and she's had respect for it, but she didn't have the right kind of respect. And that's what led her to be like put in the circumstances that she's in. She wasn't careful. She wasn't, but she didn't know to be careful, right? It's really, really, really interesting. She gets taken under the wing of a wizard, and it seems like there's something even bigger in store for Coco because of the circumstances of this. Somebody who she meets, who realizes how into magic she is, makes an effort to lead her down that path. And we see them again towards the end of this volume. And clearly they have something in store for her. We don't quite know what it is yet. But either way, I'm very excited to see where this series takes us. If you've read this, let me know. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you read any of these, tell me what your thoughts are. If any of them sound interesting, let me know. I'll let you know if they're really good or not. But yes, that's what I read in July. I have no idea how long I've been talking. I have a feeling it's been pretty long, so thanks for sticking it out. If you've stuck beside me through this video, I really appreciate you. Next, of course, will be my TBR, the Naruto TBR game. It's just going to be so much fun. August is going to be an interesting month for moi. I'm going to try really hard not to spend money. There is no Right Stuff birthday sale. I don't think there's going to be another sale for Books A Million. I'll try to contain myself, I promise. But yes, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on the other platforms in the description box down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.